My name is Hugo Gonzalez, Senior Segment Specialist at Mimaki USA, and today I'm in Tampa, Florida, visiting a great customer, CMI Custom Made Inventory. Last year, CMI purchased a brand new CFX, and I'm here today to check it out. Let's see how it's working for them.
My name is Nicole Jordan, and I've been with CMI for 5 years now. I currently serve as the marketing director, though over the years I've worn many hats. It's been exciting to watch the company grow, invest in new technology, and expand our capabilities with more complex designs and a broader product portfolio.
Hi, I'm Jeff Yandian. I am the Director of Commercialization at CMI. I am responsible for new product launches, as well as I oversee the design and development teams, quality assurance, and purchasing.
My name is Chel. I'm the production designer here at CMI. I create all the samples for our customers, and I design all the artwork that goes with them. So we offer custom die lines and artwork at the same time. And most importantly, I operate the JFX series machines that we have here and the new CFX.
Can you tell me a little about CMI and what it does?
Yeah, so CMI is a leading provider for custom packaging solutions for the food service and restaurant industries. We serve a diverse client base, from quick service restaurants to upscale catering operations. Our packaging offerings include paper, plastic, metal, sugarcane, and foam. And every product is tailored to meet the specific needs of our individual clients.
So I see that you have a lot of equipment here. What Mimaki equipment do you have in office?
We're currently using the CFX 2013. We've previously used the CFX 1218 and the 912.
Nice. So you've been a Mimaki house for some time, it sounds like.
Yes, we have.
Can you tell me a little bit about the workflow before the purchase of the CFX?
Yeah, of course. So before the CFX, we relied on more manual processes and older equipment. The intricates in design and cutting were slower and often outsourced. The turnaround times were longer and our costs were increased. We had limited ability to execute complex and high detail designs in-house.
Well, you're in purchasing, so what kind of led you to look at Mimaki flatbeds?
So we had these two really great Mimaki flatbed printers, and we didn't have a plotter that could keep up with them. We could do very large jobs on them, but our assets at the time, our plotters were much older. They were a lot slower. They didn't have the bed space, so we looked into upgrading our technology, and that's what led us to the Mimaki CFX.
Was there anything about the CFX that stood out to you, that really kind of pushed you over the fence as to, that made you want to buy it?
What we really liked about the CFX was the multiple substrate capabilities and thicknesses. Now, we do a lot of different paper substrates for our current customers, anything from thick corrugate down to paperboard. This machine in particular has the ability to go up to almost 2.5 inches in thickness of cutting power. It also has a routing tool option, so it would allow us to do prototyping on small items like cup lids and container lids. So that was what made it really attractive to us. It really takes our design lab to a next level just by having those capabilities and not having to go to outside vendors to produce these parts.
Has the CFX met your expectations so far?
It has definitely exceeded our expectations, even offering capabilities not yet fully explored. We've been able to open the door for more creative and detailed prototypes and allows experimentation with new materials previously not feasible.
I know you've had the CFX for a few months now. What do you see as, one of the biggest improvements or benefits to your workflow?
Definitely that we have solved a lot of our issues that we traditionally had with like ink cracking on creases and things like that. The nature of offering custom packaging means that sometimes the samples don't come out the way that you would expect them to because they're prototypes. But now that we have the CFX and the new abilities that it offers, it's totally solved those issues. So we're able to offer way higher quality samples to our customers.
Since the purchase of the CFX, have you been able to offer any new products or maybe even go into any new markets?
Yeah, of course. We've been able to drastically improve our efficiency, precision, and turnaround time. It has also enabled the team to handle more complex projects internally, and it has also helped us take on clients with higher production needs.
Can you share a success story that wouldn't have been possible with, before the CFX?
We have definitely had very specific events that we've been able to take care of thanks only to the CFX. So we had some customers that were asking for like a very thick corrugate material that they wanted to use for their packaging. And it was previously something that we weren't able to offer because our older machines just couldn't cut through it. But with the CFX, we now have the ability to make samples for customers in that material. So it's allowed us to have new opportunities, to sell new things, and to offer new printed samples on some of that more complicated material.
How has the CFX changed like your day-to-day workflow? Has it been any difference to your operations?
Yeah, it definitely has, specifically with cutting out some of the manual processes that I used to do on the older machines that we had. So with the CFX, there's now like an automatic detection for the material's thickness that I'm working with, adjusting the blade and all of that. So it seems like a very simple thing, but those processes like day to day, cutting those out and not having to deal with them and just the machine getting it right every single time automatically has been a big deal for us, for sure. Definitely saves me a lot of time in the design process.
Okay, so it's more streamlined the way you interact with the machine itself.
Yes, yeah, it's allowed, overall, I would say it's allowed us to say yes to more complicated and like intricate customer requests that we would have maybe balked at before because it was just too high volume of samples that needed to be made, or like thought we'd run out of time or something. So we don't have to deal with that anymore, and it's great.
So the CFX, of course, we put all the bells and whistles. Do you have a favorite feature that you use?
Yes, so by far my favorite feature is the reverse cut feature on the new CFX. It basically just allows me to scan the edge of the material that I'm working with and scan the marks and then flip the design and cut from the reverse side. So because I offer custom packaging here and that's my whole job, being able to cut on the reverse side and not have those crease marks so visible and the ink cracking on the opposite side, the finished side, if you will, of the sample, that is the biggest deal for us. And we did not have that ability at all with any of our older machines. So it's been perfect. That's been the most used feature by far.
Yeah, and then that's, enabled with one of the optional camera that you guys have on your machine.
Yeah. So the new camera software, which is different than the mark detection software, that as soon as I was able to wrap my head around that and learn that process of scanning the edge of the material, that has been the biggest game changer. Being able to flip the paper and have the design come out perfectly is exactly what I needed.
Awesome. Yeah, so it is kind of the next level crop mark reading and edge detection.
For sure. Yeah, I love it. But you still have the mark detection, so
yeah, you still have
and I love
the contrast
that
reader as well.
So I have everything that I was familiar with before, plus these new features. It's great.
If you had to put it on a scale from 1 to 10, where would you rate this and why?
Well, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 because the new features and the speed upgrade have really been a game changer for us. I would definitely recommend it to anyone considering it.
Nice. So if a customer did, or like a partner business or a collaborator came to you and said, why would you recommend the CFX, or would you recommend the CFX? What would you say?
Yeah, I would say that if any possible buyer of the CFXs already has the 4x8 or large format printer, then you definitely want to look into the CFX because it has the same area of cutting ability as the large format printer. So it's just so easy to be able to put down one full sheet of material and then move that same sheet to the plotter. We could not do that before because our previous plotters had a smaller cutting area. So that is in specific, I would say, definitely consider the CFX.
And I mean, I know throughout this whole process, you've worked with a lot of Mimaki staff, been here a couple of times, and you've also worked with the PDS staff. How would you describe that experience?
So PDS has been great in hooking us up with the exact machine that we need, helping us get in touch with you guys about this new model. And they were previously helping us with technical issues, even helping us repair our older machines as well. So we had PDS helping us repair some of our older model Mimaki plotters. So we had Amari come in from Mimaki, and he is an absolute expert, fixed everything, taught me things about the machines that I didn't know, and answered all of our questions, and we would definitely recommend him. He was a huge help to us, and not only set up the new CFX, but fixed any problem we had with our old machines, for sure.
Awesome, great. I see that you have a cowboy hat behind you. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we have, this is a great example of one of our customers just having a crazy out there request, and they wanted to see if they could do a social media PR box that was Nashville themed, and so naturally cowboy hat is what comes to mind. And they didn't think about the logic of is the cowboy hat functional as a package, but it's a great example of something that I had to make on the machine that we were not even sure it was possible, but as you can see, it's here and it's in 2 pieces, so it's functional too. But yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I really like it. I really like how you very creatively used creasing to make the curves, to make, the brim of the hat flare up like a cowboy hat would. I think that looks great.
Yeah, and these blank concepts are our starting point. So after we've cut these on the machines, then we would, and if the customer liked it, then we would move on to the design portion, and then this would get printed and then transferred to the plotter and cut on the reverse side, and then the sample would be delivered to the customer. So that's kind of a great example of what our concept to actual physical prototype process looks like.
Within the purchasing process, were there any bumps in the road? Were there any reasons why, you might have hesitated a little bit?
No, actually, between Mimaki and the PDS team, the purchasing process was seamless. We were able to have great communication and cut a quick deal, and have the machine on the floor within a couple months.
Yes, but were there any surprises during the installation?
I think the only real surprise was the size of the machine when we finally got it in-house. Our design lab's on the 2nd floor of the building, so it was a little bit tricky getting it up here, and we did have to modify the wall a little bit to get it in. But at the end of the day, everything worked out perfectly, and it's worked like a champ, been flawless since it's been installed.
Yeah, I did notice that you had a garage door on your wall, and I'm like, wait a minute, we're on the 2nd floor. Why would they need a garage door up here?
Well, apparently to get the Mimaki in here, we do.
Absolutely. Yeah. But was it worth it?
It was totally worth it. Wouldn't hesitate to do it again.